what would happen afterwards?
No, I mean, I can't speak for my colleagues, but for as far as I was concerned, what I was interested in is what is true, and I believe that all religions are false, and I'm interested in what is scientifically true.
At that time, Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hidden these things from the wise and prudent, and has revealed them unto the babes. Gigi, I got this video from a friend of mine, Gus Estacio, and it was really interesting. And here you have, two intellectuals. One eventually became Islamic, became an atheist, and then now is a Christian. And she was like, he was the mentor for this young lady, and he's disappointed that she's a Christian and believes in God. And one of the things that always comes up is the Virgin Mary, the Immaculate Conception. And they say that you're stupid if you're a Christian and you believe this. You're intellectually weak. They're intellectually strong and mighty. Now, that's why Jesus says, I praise you, Father, because you have hidden these things from the intellectuals. Now, some people say, well, it's a matter of faith. Well, the Bible text of faith, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Let's give you an example how the Amish work. The Amish are hands-on. Their hands are in the dirt. They're working. They get a seed over here, another seed over there of the same family, right? They mix it. Then they create new crops. And then they have children. So the Amish man knows, hey, he's a simple blue-collar guy, and he knows that if my seed goes into her and her seed and they mix, we have a baby. They understand that. It's a simple concept. So the man who's connected to the earth, the man who walks the earth, sees God and says, well, if God could make the sperm and if God made the egg cell, then surely he can make an immaculate conception. So I hate to bring this up, but the Jehovah's Witness Bible, us guys, says faith is the assured expectation of things hoped for. What do we hope for? We hope that God is our Father, the Father who dwelleth in the heaven. And we hope that we are his children. And it says the evident demonstration of realities. So we see the realities of our body. We see the realities of birth. We see the realities in the animals having babies and the plants reproducing. Although we don't see all the nuts and bolts and all the details, we know it happens. We see it. And so the same thing with this guy, Richard. He sees it, but he denies it in reverse, right? So, but let's give you another example. We all, if you do a quick search, 55 pounds of plutonium is what you need to create this. So he knows that. So this intellectual scientist knows that we have this amount of energy, matter, and if we blow it up, it creates all of this energy. And he doesn't bother to ask, where did this energy come from? Who created it? See, a humble man, a person who recognizes his place in the universe, when he looks at the stars and he gets a telescope and he sees, and whether or not the images are true of the James Webb telescope or whatever, we don't know. All these things. We don't know. But we do know that we're tiny and creation is huge. And instead of being humble and say, I'm so happy that I'm a son of God, that God views me as one of his children. Instead of doing that, we always question our Father. There's nothing wrong with questioning him. But see, that's where we get blinded. We get blinded because he's over here talking about how he hates religion. Okay, fine. Hate religion all you want. But don't ever deny your birthright. When you accept your birthright, when you throw it away, that's what you get. But when you accept the fact that you're God's son, you see everything in creation and that you're filled with gratitude knowing that you're a part of it. And you know that you are a baby of in a universe of billions of years. So the problem with our intellectual friends is that this scientist is so smart, but really he's in diapers in a universe of billions of years. And he wants to lecture all of humanity about how intelligent he is and how everybody's wrong. Imagine all of the holy angels in heaven looking down, and this young man, Richard, in diapers, in a universe of billions of years, is trying to lecture everybody. So when you know your place in the cosmos, then you start to learn who God is. And your faith has a different meaning. You know it's true, you hope for it, but you also have evident demonstration of realities. Even though you don't see it, but you do see it because you have a mom and you have a dad. And you're like, oh, I get it. I have a mom, I have a dad. God is my father. He's teaching me via my mom and my dad. So when I become an adult, what am I? Well, you're still a son, you're still a daughter. It's just you're God's daughter, you're God's son. You see, and then when you see your grandparents and your uncles and your aunts, you see, I get it. God is trying to tell me that there's a family in the universe and there's a family here on earth. I get it. You start to see God's creation. And as a baby in a cosmos, you know that, hey, don't jump the shark, right? Don't jump the gun. You'll learn with time all of the intricate nuts and bolts and details that you're asking for today. Now, one of the other thing I wanted to bring out, because this is getting way too long, it has to do with why is it that this professor can't see it? And I always show this clip of Yoda in Star Wars where he says,
fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
fear is the path to the dark side. This professor is afraid to become a Christian and engage into Christian thoughts because of fear of his uh, all of the people that he works with, right? His contemporaries. So that's number one. But also anger and hate. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. So this man, Richard, is just like me and you. We always ridicule people, we poke fun, and we look at the rafter in their own eye, but we don't see the straw in our own, the rafter in our eye. We're always looking at the straw in other people's eyes. So when we stop doing that, when we stop calling people stupid for what they believe, and I'm guilty of it, when we stop doing that, then we can see. Remember, like the Bible verse says that faith is the assured expectation of things hoped for, the evident demonstration of realities though not seen. Or the King James says not seen. You can't see it because you're filled with fear, you're filled with anger, and you're filled with hate. And when you get rid of those three things and you stop worrying about everybody else, then you can do what I've always been telling you since I ran for governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. You accept your birthright and you accept the fact that God is your father and you're his son. And you don't let other people get in between that personal relationship. So that's my take. I like to keep it simple, stupid. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And Gus, thank you for the link. I really enjoyed it.